BassResinator here. I have a couple IntoResin molds. I'm going to be using, well, this is what they look like. This one here is a clam, and it has a spot for a pearl, so I've got a little pearl here. I took it out of that stack. And then the lotus flower. And the last time I did these, I just colored in mica, gold colored mica into the thing, but I learned a little trick from Mini Scenes GB about using alcohol and intense chameleon colors. So I just opened this pack of intense chameleon from letsresin, and they come with this little plastic seal, but there's actually a little bit of mica, or a little bit of the powder on that. So what I watched this lady doing is she, oh, now get off. Good grief. There we go. Is she would mix a little bit of powder with alcohol. I sprayed some alcohol in here, not very much. I don't know if that's enough powder. And then just put it on the mold, and it'll go everywhere you want it without having to sit there and brush. You know what? I'm going to go just a tad more. And then after the alcohol dries, I can still have access to that powder. Now we get the intense color that I want. And what I'm wanting, I don't know if you've ever seen a lotus seed pod. They're really odd looking, and they're brown, ugly brown. So I'm going to use this maple color, intense chameleon, which is a brown, but a pretty brown. And then I have to let this dry, the alcohol evaporate out, and it should leave all that powder where I want it. That's the plan. Now, the surface of the seeds, where the seeds develop, is super lumpy in real life. And the people at letsresin, whoever is the artist, did a very good job of recreating all. So right now I'm just getting all the lumps. It's collecting inside the, it looks like a suckers on the bottom of an octopus or squid. Stay up there. And while I'm waiting for this alcohol to dry, I'm going to go put my resin, a deep pour resin from Unicorn Art, which no longer making this deep pour, which I liked a lot because you can actually pour about 3 inches deep and don't have any problems. And it's really clear. I guess people weren't buying it enough for them to continue that line, but man, I like it. It is still available on Amazon until they run out. So if you look up Unicorn Art Deep Pour, I'll put the link in the description below. And it's not wanting to stay right where I want it, so we'll see. So then the little pearl that I'm going to use in this clam, there is a spot right inside here. Don't know how well you can see that, where the little pearl can fit, and it's got to be about this size. You put too small a one in there and it probably will fly. Oh, come on back, come on back, I say. That's not where pearls go. Right? Oh, come on now. The last time I just set it right in there without a problem whatsoever. But now that I'm filming it, wouldn't you know? Part of it is, last time I did it without gloves putting it in there. Had it right there. I thought about, I still may do this sometime, if somebody really loves coffee, put a coffee bean in there instead of the pearl. Oh, it was right there. Okay, while I struggle with this, well, that was good. I'm gonna come back to you in just a second. And sure enough, I set it right in there. And it was staying, and then I set the mold down and it rolled out. There, that's where it goes, right there. And I'll just let that sit. Don't fall out of there. I'm gonna go put the resin in the vacuum chamber and I'll be back shortly. What I figured out is I didn't have enough of that maple powder. Now notice it's drying up in there. So once I put enough in there, look at that, got really good coverage with that alcohol. So resin is nice and clean. The last time I did this, I put 1 drop of white, and I didn't like, so I'm just going to go straight clear on this one. I did like the effect with 1 drop of red resin dyes. But I think I'm just going to leave this one clear until I go to unmold it, and then I'm going to put some Aurora powder or different something of that really pretty, and then put a little bit of black on this very bottom, I think, or white, and I think that's going to cause it to, anyway, that's my plan. Okay, I'm going to turn this sideways so I don't have it dropping too far. This holds about 2.5 ounces of resin, and the other one holds an ounce and 1.7 ounces. If I have a little left over, I have an egg mold over here that needs a little extra. Trying to pour it right on the wall so it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom and cause extra bubblage. Did you know that was a word? Yes, bubblage. Well, for those that were wondering, Hurricane Beryl came barreling in, but not like where it was planned to come in. It was supposed to come in right up the Rio Grande, but it missed us and it went north, and it's doing some damage up that way. We got a little bit of rain. It came down pretty hard, but it wasn't with a lot of wind or anything that's usually associated with hurricanes. So we were very fortunate. So thank you for those of you that said you were praying for us. There's still other people in the path of that hurricane that are needing prayers. And there's more storms coming. I was watching the weather, and a lot of activity out in the Atlantic off the coast of Africa. You know, it's crazy. I never even had heard of this before. African dust blows across the ocean all the way and gets us sick over here. Causes all kinds of allergies, and that dust getting out in the Atlantic with a bunch of that wind, I don't know, it does something, and it stirs up the atmosphere. I've got a little bit left. That sank in a bit. Oh sure, I just drop right between the molds. Just a little bit more here. Top it off. The stuff they tell you not to do when you're filling up your gas tank. Don't top it off. I'm not even sure why they tell us to do that. Unless they're thinking I'm going to spill gas. Now this mold has slice in it right there and over here and here to make the unmolding so much easier. Very nicely thought up mold. Yeah, you are going to go in this egg. If you didn't see the great reveal of my bathroom renewal or remodel, I used some of these eggs and drilled a hole in them and used them as covers for the bolts that hold the toilet down. Yep. Get creative around this house. Should I put color? Nah, I'll just go clear. Yeah, clear. Clear over here. Don't waste resin, use it for something. I used it for bolt covers. And I just saw a bubble pop over here. Something, I must not have gotten all the bubbles out, or I poured it in and got a bubble. And there's something floating right there. That might be a little bit of the mica. Got him. Got him. Whatever you were, I got you. Yes. And there'd be a bubble right there. Got you. Just in case there's any other bubbles. Shouldn't be, because I ran it through that vacuum chamber, and bubbles came up. And they just went away, and so I thought, okay, you're done. Speaking of you're done, I'm done until this is all cured up. And then I do have some white UV resin I can use underneath that when I put some Aurora flakes or something, which I think will cause it to... See, most lotus flowers in the wild are white, at least ones that I've seen. And we call them lily pads, and they're flowers, but they do have whitish flowers. So I'm thinking if I leave it clear and I put some aurora flakes and then back it with white, it will give the illusion of a real one in the wild. Okay, I'm done. See what happens now. This is nowhere near tacky, so I cannot brush this on, but this is the IntoResin original Aurora powder. What I would like to do instead of brushing it on, I want to get just a little bit and set it on the top. Well, that's one way to get it there. Don't want to waste this. So now what I want to do, see, it's starting to seize up. But by doing this, I can embed that a little more. And then I still plan on brushing on some more It's such a pretty, get out of here, there's a little fly going around. Okay, and so then I'll just let those cure the rest of the way. Look at this, I put shimmering alcohol ink on that. I put a little short on YouTube to show that it just danced on the surface. It was so cool. Anyway, that's where I am, and I'll just wait for, I told you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to, after this cures up a little bit more, I'm going to dust some more of this on there. Then I'm going to use white UV resin from Counterculture DIY, and then cure that in place, and then I will completely unmold it, and we'll see what we have. Yeah, cool. Okay, we'll see you at the unmolding. Okay, these have cured up, and it's unmolding time. This is the clam with the pearl inside. Wow, look at that. No bubbles. Oh my. I'll take some pictures of this. Man, what a beaut. Okay, now this egg that's been sitting around, I don't know if you didn't see me pour the first part in there, but I had it sitting there, and so I poured in the rest of the clear, and then I put in some shimmering alcohol ink. Look what that did. That is so cool. I have this sapphire with this, that. See, I don't know what I'm going to do with that, but I'm going to set it over there for the side, and I'll be able to use it for something. Put that mold up there. Now this is the lotus flower, and I opened it up and dusted down inside there as well. They come with this paper. I don't know exactly why it's there, but I keep it with it just because it's probably supposed to be there. Oh, there's a little bit of, oh, it pulls right off where that seam was. Wonder if there's one on this one. Just a little bit, yeah. Maybe it'll pull off as well. Yep, it did. It did. And there should be one. Oh, not much. Okay. Now when I last did this, there's one petal that goes way down inside. So it's not the easiest to unmold. One petal out. Come on. Come on. There, we're starting to come out. I don't want to just rip it out. I can rip that little bit of stuff off. All clean inside. I need to trim this part off. And then I'll flip it over. Just a second. Little bit of trim. Okay, enough ado. Look at that. Wow. Such a pretty flower. Now, you can't quite see what I did with this down here on the bottom. So now it's, well, I say that, let me show you a little trick. If you got a whole bunch of little pieces of leftover resin and they're hard to pick up, you just get a little bit of tape and it can also clean up any spots where some mica spilled. Cool, huh? Okay, now it's pretty level. I have used this quite a bit, so there's not much left in here. Enough to do what I want it to do. Okay, now, oh no, there's a bubble right there. Now this one I did all in clear. The one I did previously, I had put 1 drop of red resin dye in the whole thing, and I really like it too. But, oh, and a bubble just popped up right there. Without my permission. How dare it! Okay, I got that cured enough. I'm going to put it under the beast. Back here. And while it is curing, look at that. This is the medium size. There's actually a large size as well. Oh, it's still a little bendy. And I put a finger mark on there when I was pulling it out, I think. I have to wipe that off. I have a microfiber cloth right here. I got a couple of them. Wow, how dare. Let's get it away from the mold. Spray a little bit of alcohol. Oh, that is really pretty. I'll take some still pictures of this. I got a couple more seconds left on that. And then see if my idea of having it backed with a little bit of Aurora powder did anything or not. Can't quite see it like I would like. Maybe when I get it in a better light. But the white I can definitely see in the background now. Okay, well, let me know what you think. I will take some still pictures. Yeah, IntoResin, I think it's 20% off if you use the link that I have in my description. So if you like these molds or any of the handmade molds, I will tell you this. These are what they call handmade molds. If you order it, it'll take 20 to 30 days because they make them from scratch. They don't have them mass produced. So, yeah, if you were wanting one of these molds, great. They have a bunch of other molds available as well that are not the handmade variety, and those will ship out in a day or two after you place the order. So now these are what you call the handmade molds, and they come with different colored silicone, and but they're very nice. But you got to take care of them. They even come with a little instruction card in there on how to do it. Don't spray alcohol down inside. Don't do all kinds of other stuff. And then I used alcohol on that. But as far as trying to release it or make it so that it won't be any bubbles, that's what they're talking about. So yeah, I'm really happy with these. So thank you, subscribers. If you're not a subscriber, you should be. It's free. Come see what I'm going to do next. I've got some coffee. Don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I have some ideas. Okay. Read the description. Let me know what you think. See you later.